Hello everyone. So today in this video, we'll learn and we'll know what is a global variable and what is a local variable. It means what is local scope and what is global scope. So in every programming language, I mean every programming language like C, C++, Java, Python, and other Ruby and so on. So all languages have variable, right? And all languages have particular scope. It means there are two types of scope. First one is a global scope. Second one is a local scope, right? So global scope is a it means uh, the value and the variable which is declared, which we have initialized and which have implemented in a local and global scope. It means in global scope, the global scope variable is accessible from everywhere, right? So it means we can access global variable in one particular function block, one particular class block, and also we can access global variable outside a module, right? It means we can import particular module, and by using import we can import a particular variable of global variable of particular module, right? So we'll see and we'll execute and we'll perform how to work global variable, and at which and where and which block level and where we can access global variable and what is a local variable. It means what is the scope of local variable, right? So we have seen what is a global variable. Now we'll move forward what is a local variable and what is local scope, right? So we have observed, and every programming language we have observed, there are some blocks, right? Class block and some function block, method block, right? So so the function contains some variable, right? So function and class and also method contains some variable. So a variable which is declared and initialized, right? A variable which is declared and initialized inside a class and inside a method, right guys? Inside a method and inside a class, and this variable scope is local scope. It means it's a local variable, right? So local variable we cannot access, right? We cannot access local variable outside its block. It means we cannot access local variable outside a function and outside a module, right? By using import statement. So this is the main difference between the local variable and global variable, right? So we'll see and we'll execute one local variable and global variable example. First of all, we'll see one global variable example, right? So I'm going to write the Python code on PyCharm ideally, right? So you can go with anyone idle, and there is a Python idle, so you can go with, and there is one more idle which is a VS Code, Visual Studio VS Code. You can go with Visual Studio Code, right? So I'm going with PyCharm community, which is a which is idle, right? So let's start. Mm, First of all, I will create one variable. Its name is name variable equals to, which is a string variable, right? Which is a string variable. I will assign and I will slice name equals to Tony Star, right? This is a one string, which is a this is a string object, and this is a string data type where I have stored one string in name object, right? So you can check the type of this name variable, right? So by using type there is a one type class, and pass in type class constructor we need to pass the name variable name. It written just here, right? So I have created one name variable with str, right? Str value. So now I will create one function, right guys? I will create one function. So def function underscore one, right? This is my function name, and I will I will return name, right guys? Also you can print, instead of returning, I will print the name variable, right? So you can see here, I have printed name variable, which is a global variable. I have I have tried to access the name variable, global variable, inside a local scope, right? So function block is a local scope, right guys? So I will try to call the function, right, and print this, right? You can see it return a Tony Stark, right? So it means we can access the global variable inside a function, and anywhere it means it can be any kind of block. It can be function block, it can be method block, it can be a local scope, and also it can be global scope, right? It's clear. So it means we can create function, and also we can create one global variable and access it in function and outside a module, right? So I will tell you how to access a global variable outside a module, right? Outside a module. So first of all, I will create one python one module with the practice module, practice, right? And now I will import, right? I will import main, right, which is our main.py is our Python module. So by the import statement we can import particular module, and inside that module we can import all identifier, right guys? All identifier. So instead of that, I will import from main import name, right? You can see there is a one variable which is a global variable name. So now I will simply print name, right? I will simply print name. So when I execute this practice module, so you can see it return the Tony Stark, right guys? So it return Tony Stark, right? So it's clear how to how to create a global variable, how to import a global variable, and outside of module, right, inside a local scope. So it's clear what is a global variable, right? So now I will tell you one more example of I will tell you one more example of uh, accessing a particular global variable in method, right? It means inside a class. So I will create one class, demo class, right? And in demo class I will create one show method, right? And write and print I will print name, which is our global variable, right? And now we will create object of demo class, obj equals to demo class, and try to access the show method by using object, right? And you can see here guys, when I print, right, I have printed, I have executed the particular code, it returned the name Tony Star, right? It means we can access global variable inside a method also, right? So it's clear what is use of global scope, and also what is global variable, right? So now we'll move forward, we'll see what is a local variable and local scope, right? So as I told you, local scope and local variable, right? So the variable which is, right guys, the variable which is declared and which is initialized inside a method and inside a class, and also inside a we can say function, right? So this variable we can say and we can call as local variable and local scope variable, right? So I will create one function, def fun function 2. This is our function name, and right, I will simply declare one variable which is MNO, which is our mobile number, right? So MNO equals to 77700785554. This is mobile number which I have stored in MNO equals to integer variable, right? So now I will try to print MNO, right? And now call the function which is function 2, and you can see it return the MNO, right? But what here we have to keep remember one thing. We have declared MNO equals to integer value mobile number, right, inside a local scope inside a function, and we have printed the MNO, which is our variable inside a local scope. But now I will try to print the MNO outside in global scope, which is outside of function. But you can see there is a red line indicating a red line. It means something is wrong. So it return the name error, right? It return name error. It means name error. It is MNO is not defined, right guys? So here PVM, Python virtual machine, try always try to find and always try to get the all variable which is global variable for global scope. But we are trying to we are trying to accessing a local scope and local variable in global scope. It is not possible, right guys? So it's clear what is a local scope, what is a local variable, what is global scope, what is a global variable, right? So so thank you guys. So it's clear, and I hope you have clear, and you have know now. So what is local scope, what is global scope, and how to declare, and what is importance of different scope, right? So thank you for watching. So we'll see you in next video. Thank you guys.